Good morning. It's a beautiful day. Anytime I can wake up, I can go check on my kids. I can see my husband. I can check my phones and there's no bad text messages. I'm breathing good air. It's a great morning. It is a great day. So I just want to take a minute to share an experience with you. Back in 2014, my husband and I had a chance to walk on fire. We went to an Anthony Robbins conference, and we did the fire walk on day one. Let me tell you how it went for me. So day one, long day, registered, pumped, completely unexpected response from my husband. You know, I didn't think he was gonna like it. I didn't know if he was gonna like it, but we needed a change. Some things were shifting in our relationship, in our finances, and everything, and we needed to change. And I was desperate, and that was my last resort, was an Anthony Robbins conference. But anywho, so he gets us pumped, excited about change. I mean, off the wall excited. Plus, he played some really great music, just pumped us up. But also had us deal with some personal things, some challenges, some roadblocks, some things that were really emotional. And then he tells us at like 10 or 11 at night that we're about to go complete our fire walk. So he's getting us mentally ready. So the first thing he did, he broke my comfort zone. My husband is my comfort zone. He is my best friend. I love doing things with him. We enjoy doing things together. But when we went to this conference, we went together. So I anticipated we were going to do everything together. He separated us. Anthony Robbins told us to find someone else we did not go there with. So I did. So what did I do? I just looked to my right or my left or something like that, and me and my neighbor linked up. Me and the person I was sitting next to linked up, and it actually ended up being a very good experience. We had to share some personal things with our person, right? With our new partner. And this was the same person we had to do the fire walk with. So in my head, I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be experiencing this with my husband, and I got to experience this with somebody else? So I was thrown. I was uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable. And the person I came there with, I couldn't take with me as my motivator, my, whatever, for this fire walk. So already before the fire walk, even though I was pumped, okay, I'm ready for this change. I'm 300 and something pounds, 300 and whatever pounds. My finances suck. My relationship with my husband was on the rocks. I didn't feel like I was the greatest mother. I felt tired all the damn time. I felt unappreciated and unvalued at work. I felt like everyone I did something with just took me for granted and just used me. I was just in a really bad place mentally. So I was afraid. I was uncomfortable. And you're asking me to walk on fire. I mean, real fire, hot ass coals, the stuff that I barbecue with, right? And even hotter than that. So we had to share some tragic moments in our life. We had to share with this person the things that we've gone through, some of the hardest moments. And for me, and all of the things that I had gone through up to that point, the hardest thing for me to deal with was my daughter's birth. I had her at 24 weeks, 6 months. And I had her because I had a UTI infection that just went untreated. So it ended up getting in utero, puncturing my water bag, and making it to where I would have had to be on bed rest, right? So my daughter is born. She comes out breech. She's born at 24 weeks. And all I know is that the doctors told me that she may not survive. Knowing that I was going to give birth to a child I was going to have to bury devastated me. When she came, the emergency response team was there so fast, it's a blur. My mom was with me. She stayed the night in the hospital with me. But it was a blur. Before I know it, I have her, and there's a team of doctors surrounding her incubator, right? They pull her out. She's tiny. She looks like a little mole rat, y'all, a little shaved one. She wasn't cute when she was an infant, all right? I looked like I gave birth to a rabbit. But anyways, so my doctor comes in, and she tells me that, well, Anisha, she has to take her first breath and then they will intubate her. And she tells me, you may have to let her go. You may have to say goodbye. Y'all, it's still hard to think about, but I cried out a yell. I did not care who was there, because all I knew was that I was not gonna bury this little girl. And I told God, I talked to God, and I was like, please stop taking things from me. Please let me have this little girl, please. But if her life can't be whole, then let me lay her to rest. But if you can make her whole, if you can give her, if I can give her a good life, please give her her breath, breathe air into her body. I yelled this so loud, everybody on the first floor heard me, because at that moment, I did not care. It was about life or death. It was about my daughter. It was about me finally getting mad enough, not being just uncomfortable, but being okay with my life. You know how we get there? Like, we're not satisfied. We're like in no man's land, according to Anthony Robbins, where we are, we're not satisfied, but we're not so dissatisfied that we're willing to make a change, that we're willing to do something to speak up for ourselves, right? We're willing to call out to God, to the universe, to whoever you believe as your creator, to say, I need you to step in now. I need you to give me some strength now. I was at that point. Out of all the things that I ever been through in my life, and I've been through a lot, that one moment was the moment that I actually asked God and told God, I cannot take no for an answer. Not this time. Not this time. Please do not take this thing from me. Please do not take this little girl from me. Please do not take her from me, but give me the strength to be the best mother that I can be. So now we get back to the fire walk. So I tell this to my partner. We take this long walk, and it seems long, to go to these lanes of coals, and we're watching people put down fresh coals on these lanes. And we're getting pumped up, and we're getting into state, and we're yes, yes, and all this stuff, right? Because it's a state of mind. We can do anything we want to do. We control our mind. We control our bodies. You know, our bodies don't control our minds. So we get into state, and I tell my husband, you know, we're walking there together because he's with his partner. And I tell him, I said, hey, you go first. I can't do it right now. Did you hear what I just did? After all that emotion, right, 10 minutes ago, I knew what the hardest part of my journey, so at that point, had been. I actually backed up and I asked him to go in front of me because I was afraid. I was still afraid that those coals could do more damage to me than what I've already been through. I could just see my weave going up in flames. I could see the bottom of my feet burning to where I couldn't even walk on them for a moment. Then I see my husband get across, right? And now it's my turn. And so I'm trying to convince my partner. I'm like, look, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry, but I cannot do it. My partner began to repeat to me verbatim what I had gone through already. She started to tell me how strong I was and how if I got through that, remember your daughter. Remember what you've been through for your daughter. Remember what you went through with your daughter. Remember that moment. Y'all, when she mentioned my daughter and when she reminded me of what I already had, the gratitude I could already express even before walking through those coals, something flipped. Something changed. Got on that lane and walked my fire walk. And the fire walk that I walked, it wasn't because she was born at 24 weeks, weighing 484 grams, 1.4 pounds. Some of us eat a bigger steak than that, right? It wasn't about that. My switch got flipped because I remembered what I told God. I remember what I told my creator, with the universe, that I was going to be the best mother that I could be to this little girl, and I was going to give her every opportunity to succeed. Well, how can I do that if I'm not taking care of me? How can I do that if I'm held up over some fire? Do you know how many fires you've already walked through in your life? Or I'm sorry, did I say that? Do you know how many fires I had already walked through in my life before actually meeting that lane of coals? I had beat so many odds and so many statistics growing up. You know, I can't even begin to tell you about the things that I went through. Well, I can, but I won't at this moment. I had been through worse stuff than even my daughter's birth, but it wasn't about that. It was about me fixing me doing something for me so I could love my daughter and now my son at that point from my overflow. So I could be a woman that embraces her imperfections as stepping stones. A woman that is grateful for every single thing in my life because I understood the strength in struggle at that point. Even at that point, I understood it. I just didn't necessarily apply it. And I did not do what needed to be done to keep me in a healthy state of mind. So had I not walked through that fire lane, it wouldn't have been a defeat of, oh, well, she's just scared. It would have been a much worse defeat. A defeat that I am so selfish that I didn't even put my own self-care first. I didn't put the love for myself first. And so when I take that out of the equation, I put myself in a position to not maximize who I am as a woman, a mother, a wife, a friend, a sister, a daughter. So it was about me not living up to my full potential. You see, this fire had represented a lot of struggle, the struggle within my relationship, the struggle in my childhood, the struggle in just being a mother, the struggle in trying to get your finances in order, the struggle in trying to figure out what the hell you want to do with your life in your 30s, you know, the struggle, that fire, those coals represented a lot of things that I was afraid to approach, that I was afraid that I would fail at. So I had to walk across that fire. So I walked, and I didn't worry about my weave catching on fire. I didn't worry about my feet getting burnt, but I walked across that bitch quick. But I walked, and I got to the end. And I rubbed my feet in water. Me and my husband shed a tear, and I celebrated because I understood that I knew how hot that fire was. I knew those coals could have burnt my feet up. I knew that I could have slipped and fell and my hair caught on fire and then been on somebody's YouTube or YouTube channel, whatever the case may be, or a meme could have been made about me. I could have experienced being burned again, and this time having 2nd and 3rd degree burns, being in the hospital. I could have passed out midway and just fell on the coals. There's a lot of bad things that could have happened, right? A lot of things that play in our head when it's time for us to walk across our coals, when it's time for us to meet our fears, when it's time for us to conquer whatever it is that's holding us back, that's setting us back. But at that point, I was only concerned about finishing. So I told you that to tell you this. I realize that we all have our own lane of coals. And I want you to not even understand, you don't have to understand it, but I want to share with you that I experience my own lane of coals almost every day. You know, it is, when you have a high standard, you don't want to lower your standard for yourself. You want to meet it, you know, and you want to meet it almost by any means necessary as long as it's not compromising your character. But I want to encourage you, walk across your lane of fire. Walk across your lane of coals. You've been here. Do you know what you've come through already? This is nothing. Face your fears, as a great American Muay Thai fighter says, Kevin Ross, the soul assassin. Look them in the face and be like, you're not stopping me this time. See, because we have already done that. We have already been stopped midway because of our fears. We have already been stopped midway because we are too afraid to have a little bit of burn marks on our feet, even though we know that they can heal. We're a little afraid. We're thinking about all the ways we can fail versus looking at finishing. Just finish. Just walk across. Close your eyes, get your coach, your mentor, your friend, whoever it is, your husband, whoever it is that can help light your match, that can remind you of where you're coming from, of where you come from, of what you've already been through, of who you are today, and walk across the coals. Do something for you. This is the first step of doing for you. Because if you can love yourself and care for yourself, I mean, really do it. Face all the shit that bothers you. You know, start making small, consistent changes about where it is you want to be in life. I'm 37 years old. I don't give a damn about a six-pack. I want energy. I want passion. I want long life. I want passionate lovemaking, and I want feeling sexy. I want to be the woman that my husband, when I walk through the door, he still gets chills. I want to be the most passionate, most loving, most inspirational lifestyle coach, life coach, success coach, transformation coach, whatever you want to call it. I want to be that person. I want to share my story. There's a lot of things that I want to do, but if I had not started to take steps towards self-care and self-love, there's no way, because my cup would still be empty. My cup I would be trying to love and do things out of an empty place, and you can't do that. People know that. You can't BS a BSer. And you can only use filters. Filters are only good on pictures, you guys. Because even in video, and what's sad is even in a picture, a filter ain't all that great. I mean, it masks a couple things, but you still see when somebody's in pain, right? You can see it, you can feel it. You see it in the picture, you see it in their eyes, you see it. So love yourself first. It's not selfish, ladies and gents. It's not selfish, especially ladies. It's not selfish. Take time to grow, to do, to be. Stop just surviving. You want to be the best mom you can be? Take care of yourself. You want to be the best wife you can be? Take care of yourself. You want to be the best co-worker, friend, employer, boss, creative mind, artist? Take care of yourself. Trust me, your kids want you to. Your husband wants you to. Even if he doesn't really show it, he wants you to. Or if he does show it, man, run with that. You know how many women would appreciate a man that supports them, or vice versa, a man that has a woman that supports them? Don't sabotage your potential because of your fears. See, and I almost did that. I almost didn't walk across that fire because I was afraid. I mean, I really, really, really was afraid. And you know what? When I think about it, the thing I was afraid of most was failing midway, not finishing, because it seemed like everything that I started up to that point, I didn't finish. I failed at. I had already gone through my first marriage. It was extremely hard for me to finish college. My finances weren't where I wanted them to be. You know, my husband, like I said, me and my husband's relationship was not anywhere near what I wanted it to be. And I still hadn't been able to look at myself in the mirror and say how much I love myself, knowing all of what I could do and who I am. That was very hard for me. So now that I shared a little bit about my story, what are you waiting for? If you're looking for someone to help inspire you, or you're looking for support because you truly don't have it, or you're just looking for some more support, what's stopping you? Your support is here. So what's stopping you? What's stopping you from treading across that fire? You know, I know it's fear, but is it worth it? Is your fear worth not ever knowing what you could have and not creating the life that you want? Is your fear worth that? Is your fear worth settling for survival and not living? Because everything in this life, because our Creator is so amazing, must grow in order to live. Once we stop growing, we die. That's the law of nature. That's the law of the world. You stop growing, you die, right? So if your fear is the only thing that's stopping you, I am going to take a tagline out of Kevin Ross's book and say, face your fears. Use your fears and use your pain to propel you forward. That's your fuel. It don't feel good, but it can serve a good purpose. It can be a good reminder of where you come from, to give you the strength to say, this shit ain't nothing. Really? I've been through worse than this. So I want to inspire you today. Facing your fears, or even living the life you love, of self-care and self-love, taking care of you, basically. It's not about perfection. It's about doing everything you do with excellence, being the very best for yourself. We tell my son, because my son, you guys know, well, I don't know if you know, but my son is 7 years old and he's been training in boxing seriously for the last 24 months. And the one thing we tell him every single day is that you are not competing against the kid that's on the other side of the ring. You are competing against yourself. Every day you're striving to work harder, to do better, to be more precise, to be faster, to be more strategic, to have better footwork than you had the day before. Your success and your being a champion has nothing to do with your opponent. It has to do with, are you presenting your very best self? Are you doing more today than you did yesterday? And it's not about doing it perfect. It's about doing it with excellence. And in practicing being excellent is where you practice your technique and your precision, and you increase your stamina and your endurance, and just everything falls in line in that. When you seek excellence and not perfection. Perfection is frustrating. How do I know? Because I used to live in that world. You can't be perfect all the dang time. It's impossible. It's unrealistic. It's stupid. For what? Don't nobody want no perfect person. I don't. It lacks character. I need someone that has made a couple mistakes. Because if I'm always around a perfect person, then I always feel less than. But when I'm my very best self, I know I'm my very best self. I know what I bring to the table. I bring the whole damn table. So focus on excellence, not perfection. I don't care what pressure is on the outside and what you may hear people say, but if they're trying to measure your success or be up all in your Kool-Aid and don't even know the flavor, they're trying to tell you how to sweeten your Kool-Aid, how to add to your Kool-Aid, but they really don't know where you come from and it makes you uncomfortable, then you follow the path that is comfortable for you to get to the destination that you want to go to. And if that's a road of self-care and self-love, small, consistent changes every day. Small changes every day. Small changes consistently. It matters. It has a compound effect. It does some amazing things. So there's my Friday post, my Firewalker Friday post. That was a tongue twister, kind of, sort of. Check the comments, check the description. I have some amazing things going on. I am starting an accountability group pretty soon. It is online, fully online. I'm taking full advantage of every piece of technology out there because we're about to continue to link and connect strong women and strong people together to really create the life that they want. And where does it start? In your mind. Starts with your speech. Starts with your thinking. Starts with what you believe. Starts with your value system. It starts with learning yourself again. So if you're interested, follow my Facebook group. Please, I don't even know why I have to tell you this right now, but subscribe to my YouTube channel. Much more stuff is coming up because I want to share, because I am passionate about this. Not everybody is okay with being transparent, but I am. I'm okay with being transparent because I believe that life might have been rough for me and I might still have some challenges coming up, and I know in the future I'm going to have challenges, but it helps somebody. And if I can help someone avoid some of the things that I did, or if I can even encourage you in wherever you're at in life and at whatever point you are in your struggle or your challenge, I want to do that. And I believe that I can share experiences that could inspire you. that could light your match, that could help fuel your flame, because we are all powerful. We all have the ability to act. It's just sometimes we get uninspired. Sometimes we let our environment, the people we surround ourselves with, our own beliefs, our own negative self-talk dim our flame, or sometimes even put our fire out. So if I can inspire you to light that match and touch it on your wick, I want to do that. And I don't mind sharing my experiences. I don't mind sharing my struggles, because my struggles and everything that I felt at one point was traumatic. And I was like, God, why? Has served me to the greatest capacity. Had I not been through what I went through, I would not be the woman I am today. And you know what? I love who the hell I am today. I am grateful for my family, for my kids, for the opportunities that I have. I'm grateful to be here right now, just sharing this with you. I'm really grateful to have the means to share it with you, to have the social media, to have the internet, to have the FaceTime or the video or the apps to do this for free. I'm really grateful. And I want you to travel the journey with me, partner with me so we can collaborate. But I also want to document my journey, because I know that this is not my final destination. I still got plenty of things to do. And I want my kids to see where I come from. And this is a great way to document what goes on. But thank you for listening. Thank you for staying tuned in. I kept you over 20 minutes again, but I wanted to share. I wanted to share a little bit more about me and my story. And I wanted to remind you that no matter where you come from, no matter what you go through, you can walk across that fire. And you can walk across that fire with your head held high, your chin up, looking up at the sky, and still dreaming big. And I don't care how old you are, and I don't care what your struggles are, you can still create the life that you want, because as long as you're willing to grow, you will live. But remember, the minute you stop growing, you will die. So choose life, choose growth, all right? Have a great day, have a great weekend. Enjoy everything about your day, good, bad, or indifferent. Be grateful for it. Drink your water, move your body, and speak good things to yourself. I'm out.